is not really an issue because you're paying a flat rate for that light. So if the light fails, we replace it.
For how long is that?
Yeah, it's the whole time that you're paying for the light.
Okay,
You're paying, it's like a rental fee, let's put it that way. What you pay
Okay,
for the
so this is basically a rental type of deal.
Right,
As long as we're paying for it, we get a replacement if it fails.
correct. Now, to add to that, one other thing that we'll be having starting in '24 and going on, is asset controllers. And what that is, that's just a fancy term for a smart photo cell. So the advantage of that would help us extend the range of our smart meter network. It also provides accurate GPS locations of all lights within the town, so we don't have to do audits every 10 years to find out where the lights are. They'll automatically be identified, and they also will detect if their light is working or not. So instead of having to, depend on somebody reporting that a light is out for us to repair it, the light is telling us automatically that the light has failed or the bulb's out, whatever. With LED, it's pretty much, if the light goes out, the head's changed out, because the nature of the LED, it's all, the head's all integrated. There's no changing of the bulb or anything like, traditional light. So if the light goes out, the photo cell would notify us, and an order would be routed so that the light can be changed out. So that, we're gonna start doing that in '24. We've got certain cities that we're doing first, and see how the equipment works, and see if there's any quirks or kinks or anything with it before we do a full deployment through our territory. But they are gonna start that in '24, and I'm looking forward to that, because I think that'd be a benefit to the cities.
And council, this is just the end of the presentation. We'll see this again and get a chance to move on it, but this will just be an opportunity to know a little bit more about it when it comes forward. Any questions you have for Jimmy?
I'm more than happy to come back to any council meetings or any other meetings you'd like me to be present at to go over anything. We would have an agreement drawn up, which is basically given the timeline of when we would start installing, when we should finish, the payment scheduling, things like that. So, I can send you a draft one just for your review, and once you decide if you want to go forward, then we can you can send the official request on city letterhead to me, and then we can do the official agreement and go forward from there.
Okay. Very good. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me.
Very exciting. It's out there. With that, moving on to item 6B, presentation and update of the Frio Chamber of Commerce regarding the progress, request for funding, and other related matters. We have Dr. Sanchez and his group here. Doctor, you want to come up, and whoever else wants to stand with you. Welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you all very much, appreciate it. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving us a little bit of time to give you all an update of where we stand. I'm Eduardo Sanchez, I'm the president. Our vice president is Oscar Vasquez. Our treasurer is Lyric Norman. We have our executive director, Juanita Rendon. Our board of directors are comprised of Matthew Aguilar, Andrea Longoria, Linda Parsons. We also have Mrs. Priscilla Rodriguez, Sylvia Sanchez, and Anthony Vasquez. That is currently comprised our chamber as we speak. As you know, late last year, some meetings were convened by the city. I think they're spearheaded by Councilman Trevino, and the idea was broached about starting a Chamber of Commerce, or restarting the Chamber of Commerce. So many of us business owners attended these meetings, and we're excited for us to be involved. We got our act together in January, and we held our first elections, and that's what brings this team together now. So since that time, we have met countless meetings, countless hours, trying to do the work of making sure we get the structure correct. This is new, starting a Chamber of Commerce is new to many of us. But we've done all the work necessary, and we've done the research necessary. We've had a few setbacks in that time. In April, we had our first elected president resign. But fortunately, we were organized enough, we were able to regroup, readjust our leadership, and continue moving forward. Also in that time, some of our members were attending some meetings with Uvalde. We called them and let them know that we were restructuring. They had just gone through something very similar. They were generous enough to allow us to go to their meetings and even sit in on some of their leadership meetings free of charge. At one of those meetings, we actually met a consultant, a group that does consulting for new chambers of commerce, which was very timely for us. So as we regrouped, we decided as a team to hire them to help us again, make sure our ducks are in a row, we have the correct structure legally, and where we need to be. Some of the other delays, we did have a name change in the interim, and we also decided to change our nonprofit status from a 501c3 to a 501c6. So again, those are some of the items we've been working on. So we apologize for some of the delays. We were all excited and ready to go. We didn't realize we had a little bit of work, but we're getting there. All of us on the board, we realize we're stewards of this organization. We want to make sure that, again, it can stand up to the changes of leadership which occur. We're just here for our tenure, and we want whoever comes in to be able to pick up right where we left off and move forward, and we'll be glad to assist them. Also, we want to make sure we have transparency. That's going to be very important, especially since we do have a history of a chamber here in Pearsall. But we want to make sure too we offer transparency, so we have that trust with the city, of course with our community and with the members that we hope to offer a good service to. We are hoping to provide a service to businesses and to help our community. So again, thank you for your patience. We're hopefully within a few months we'll be ready with the Secretary of State documents and our new nonprofit status. So that's where we stand today. Oscar Vasquez is going to speak a little bit as well as to where we are at.
Good afternoon, Council, Mayor, City Manager. Thank you for having us here today. I guess just to echo a little bit about what Dr. Sanchez was talking about, which by the way, he's been very instrumental in leading the group as president. I myself, as vice president, has been happy to help with, but one of the obstacles, for example, that we came up with is that, for the chamber to be successful, it's got to be operational throughout the day. And that's where an executive director comes in, which is traditionally a paid employee of the chamber. For now, we have Juanita Vendon, who is acting executive director, has volunteered to kind of operate with some of the things that are coming up throughout the day, which it's not a lot, but there is still things that need to get done. I also wanted to kind of mention a little bit about our board of directors. Like Dr. Sanchez mentioned, these are all local individuals, community members that have and run their own businesses or have ran their businesses. And that is just a testament to their investment to our town. It was very, very early on in this stage, before we even knew that this was going to be coming to a chamber, that the group was meeting and coming and attending to the meetings that were set here by the city council, the mayor. But we quickly realized that we had one common goal, and that's to improve our town. In that, there was excitement and a lot of enthusiasm, and we have a lot of ideas. In fact, not too long ago, we were here ready to run a festival and invite George Strait and Bad Bunny and everybody, and we were gonna party, But since then, we've taken a step back. There was a shift in leadership, and we realized that if we're gonna build something that's long-lasting, that's gonna be strong in the roots of Pearsall, we really need to take the time to build it right. And that is what we've been doing. And I cannot stress how much time and effort has gone in from every board member here and all the officers listed already. We've taken the time to build our mission statement. I'd like to read it right now. And by the way, we've changed the name because as ambitious as we were at the beginning, we were trying to include all of Frio County so we could get all the towns. But with the change in leadership that we had, we kind of settled on a refocus to just Pearsall. So with some of the things that took place with the past chamber, we in our research we learned it was probably better to have a different name. So we're kind of going through a rebrand. That's what's happening. And I think it's the start of a rebrand, not only for the entire town, I would say. At least that's what we hope it is. And the mission statement starts like this. The Chamber of Pearsall serves to promote economic development, advocate for our members, and enhance the prosperity and well-being of our cherished town. as we continue to meet, we have a few things that we're still trying to hammer out. But the first step in moving forward to launch the chamber and become public and start doing all the things that chambers do is going to be for the approval of our budget, which I don't know if it's been presented or will be presented.
It's just a draft.
Yeah, just a draft at the moment, but that is it's a pretty significant step for us. We weren't gonna propose anything until we were ready. And we're getting pretty close to being at that point. So, I am very grateful to be a part of this team and to be a part of Pearsall. And I hope that we can all work together to take Pearsall to the next level. Do y'all have any questions for us right now?
If you want to give time, I'm sorry, this is just a draft, and I'm sorry, just seeing it, but I don't remember what we received it Friday, something like that. We couldn't put it in the packet, but it is a preliminary budget. As the council's aware, I believe we've started our budget process. I think our first meeting is on the 31st of July as far as the proposed budget, but this will be part of the proposed budget as far as what, not necessarily this document, but their request for funding as far as the, through hotel occupancy tax. So anyway, Bobby, did you get a copy of this? So, what we'll be doing is working through the city attorney, myself, and discussing some of these things in the request, and figuring out contractually what we need to do as far as the creation of our participation in this, and then what contractually we're requesting from the chamber / visitors bureau. Again, part of the charge that we were requesting is not only to be a chamber of commerce, but also to manage our convention and visitors bureau, which is how you receive hotel occupancy tax. So, in saying that, that's part of what we're going to be discussing. Again, we'd like to have at least 1 or 2 council members also join us in these discussions as they have, the chamber has time to meet, so we can have something prepared by budget.
Councilman Chirino?
Mayor, Dr. Sanchez, Mr. Vasquez, let me first commend you for the job well done you guys have done. It was the beginning of something exciting and great for our city. I went after this in reference to making sure that we have a chamber, because for one, it's great for when we go out for grants and stuff like that. But I also looked at it as growth in economic development for our city. Giving that body for a Chamber of Commerce will allow us to promote our city within other counties, other cities. And that's what I wanted, to have that exposure out for our city, to put Pearsall in the map. You know, bring it back to our old tradition and these festivals that built the legacy of Pearsall. And that's why I took it. It's gonna create something great for our future. And I'm excited to know that the members we have in this are active business members, and I think that's a major plus within this chamber. So again, guys, thank you for everything you guys have done on your own time to create this chamber, and I'm excited and looking forward to greater things.
Council, any questions? I'd just like to reiterate again, I've been able to attend a couple of these guys, and thank y'all very much for all of y'all for the hard work that you've done. And I know when I first became mayor, one of the pillars that we established was an economic development, and this is key to that. And these guys are working really hard to make that happen. And ultimately, I mean, we're going to be their kind of lifeline and help them get up and running. But there is a separation. I mean, they're not controlled by the city, but we work together. Hopefully, they'll be able to generate revenue and start being able to stand on their feet more and more and more as they find the right people to manage and be the cheerleader, raise the flag for Pearsall. Anything that's good for Pearsall is good for Frio County. So it's a great deal. So thank you guys so much. And our city attorney has helped me quite a bit, and Fred, providing a tremendous amount of support. So thank you guys very much, and all y'all for your sacrifice working so hard to bring this to fruition. So anyway, great presentation. Y'all look at that. You'll see that tomorrow. This is actually already in the budget.
No, sir.
No, okay.
It's $270,000.
And again, it's hotel motel. Okay, all right, thank you. Moving on to item 6C, presentation of newly hired promoted Pearsall Police Officer. Chief, you want to come on up? Captain.
Wanted to introduce an officer that we just hired, along with an officer that we promoted. Now Sergeant Garland Parker was promoted back in the beginning of
Y'all
June
can come to the front.
to a patrol sergeant from a patrolman role he prior been. We recently hired, just last Monday, we hired Raimundo Dominguez. He comes from Jim Hogg County, where he was previously employed. So we're excited to have him. Officer Parker has shown a whole lot in the short time that he's been here. Mr. Dominguez as well, he's done a great job at learning his role, which is as a corporal right now, in the investigative process that we take here with the department. We can just recognize him.
Yeah, you bet.
Any particular place, y'all?
Um,
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
good.
I'm gonna do one at a time, that way it doesn't take anything away from you, all right? We'll start with Garland, okay? If you would raise your right hand, in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I state your name,
I, Garland Parker,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will,
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Patrol Sergeant in the city of Pearsall
the state of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of the state, so help me God.
of the state of Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
Raimundo, okay, in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I state your name,
Raimundo Dominguez,
and follow along, do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Corporal Investigator number 747 of the city of Pearsall
the state of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
of the state of Texas, and will do to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and this state, so help me God.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Chief, can we get y'all?
You bet. Great to have you. Well done. Always good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you want to run? Chief.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You wanna take pictures?
Yeah.
Let's get them in the middle.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you all. Congratulations.
All right, well done. Well done. All right, moving on to our public hearing. City Secretary is now 7:02, and I'm officially opening a public hearing on the request for a conditional use permit for Margarita Cabrera to place a 16 by 72 97 manufactured home on a property located on the West Ward and South Willow Street. This is an open hearing. City Secretary, you have the floor.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Unfortunately, the Planning and Zoning Commission was able to convene last night. I did not have a quorum. We had one that we will show up. However, for the ordinance that was passed last year, you are able to make a decision without a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission. I have not received one phone call, I have not received one negative response, no one has walked in. She's complied, she's provided all information to us. And she's going to place it actually on lot 4, which is not, it's lot 4 and lot 5. Lot 5 is the corner lot, so we recommended her push it back a little bit so that way the intersection, there's no problem there. Does council have any questions?
This is an open hearing, so if there's someone that wishes to make a comment. Hearing none, council, do you have any questions?